Welcome in to We Talk Facts with 9-year NBA veteran and Nebraska basketball Hall of Famer Erick Strickland and two-time Nebraska football national champion Clester Johnson. Talking and taking names in sports and day-to-day living. Sit back, relax, and join the show with 9-year NBA vet and Nebraska basketball Hall of Famer Erick Strickland and two-time Nebraska football national champion Clester Johnson.
Going Dion mode.
I like it.
WTF, We Talk Facts. Welcome. 8 to 9 every Tuesday. You can find us here. Looks like the rain is jumping off outside, but we're inside, and WTF is in effect. Clester Johnson, how are you today, my friend? In the new studio for the first show.
I really like it. I like it a lot. Yeah. But I got to try not to get distracted because it's such a mesmerizing view right in front of us.
Yeah.
The first thing I thought about when I looked out right away is it never rains in Southern California. But I forgot. I've been linking
you
Nebraska.
Ain't there.
I'm not there.
We far from that. Tonight, what we're going to get into, we're going to talk about the Huskers and the upcoming game against La Tech. We're going to get into a little bit of that, a little breakdown on that. What is the expectation for this week? A lot of injuries, obviously, have permeated the Husker roster. The running back room is thinned out a little bit, but opportunities are presenting themselves, and we're going to talk a little bit about that and get an input on what Clester Johnson, my partner, thinks about the opportunity, the chances, who's going to be the starting quarterback. We know that both of them have split time this week. Obviously, last week, Harburg took the reins and led the Huskers to a victory. Pretty good victory, pretty convincing. The defense played absolutely amazing. They're continuing their sack numbers. They're staying pretty high and pretty active. So we're going to talk a little bit about that, and we're going to get into a topic today that I think is very interesting. Stick around for that. We're going to talk about some of the greatest two-way players to play the game, and then we're going to get into a back-and-forth debate, Clester and I, going at whether or not we think it is good for the sport. Should they do it? Should they not? I'm going to debate that against my partner in crime.
I don't know if you want to do that.
And we're going to get on that a little bit.
You might not want it, Harrison. All right.
He said he's going to call off the dogs. Clester Johnson, this week I think it's an important week. I thought last week was a very important week, so it was good to see that the Huskers were able to pull it out. The crowd was phenomenal. They showed up and showed out. The intensity in the stadium was pretty good. The tailgating was a night game, so that was pretty intense. Now they're going to come and play La Tech in a day game. And what is the expectations for you, being that injuries now have presented themselves? What would you like to see based on what you saw this week? And we've got to understand that there's preparation in store for the following week. We're not going to look past La Tech. That is a dangerous proposition. But we're going to talk about the preparation and the buildup for the Michigan Wolverines, the big bad wolf coming into Lincoln to face the Huskers in 2 weeks.
So a few weeks ago, I had my guy Harrison send me the show that we did in regards to making our predictions. And so far, things are going to plan of what my feeling was about what was going to happen this season. Pretty much based on Coach Rule. I think that he is staying steadfast on what he believes and what he's trying to accomplish. The thing that can ruin a season or take things off of track is injuries. You know, even in basketball. I mean, I remember just a few years ago, Creighton had probably one of its best teams. And their guard, one of their guards, the top guard, got hurt. Right as they were going into the tournament and just kind of derailed them. I think that was probably like a Sweet 16 team, Elite 8 possibly. But anyway, the good thing about Nebraska right now in regards to the running back position, of course, they had Gabe Ervin got hurt.
Yeah, Ramir Johnson.
Too bad for him. Ramir Johnson's out. But Grant, who was
Probably their best runner.
Was their leading rusher last year.
Yeah.
Now the thing about it, he's had some turnover issues, but when they are depending on you and they're looking you in your face and saying, listen, we need you to step your game up now. It's time, the time for you to consistently take care of this ball and give us all you got. It's a concentration thing. It's about concentrating. It's about thinking ahead of yourself, thinking about what it's going to take for you to put this team on the next level. Just saw my man Amon Green outside. See, that's what happened.
See, you can pop through. You can get distracted on this platform.
Here I am talking to Amon and Green, just walking right by the front glass. But
we used to be hot. I got what you're talking about.
But let me say one more thing in regards to La Tech, and we can get into this a little bit more.
Well, I just wanted to say this.
Okay,
I'm gonna let you finish.
Okay, go ahead.
I just wanted to say what you just said was like on a phenomenal 1980s movie.
Okay,
it was called The Last Dragon. Oh. And he said, "Playtime's over, boy." That's what I thought about.
Was that show now?
I think Matt Rule walked in, looked Grant right in the face, and said, "Playtime's over, boy. I need you to step up your game."
Absolutely.
WTF.
That's what happened.
Yeah.
Man, you made my chair go down, man. I'm laughing so hard.
Yeah, you got to shrink, baby. That's how this debate going to get in a minute. Playtime's over, boy.
Here we go. La Tech is not to be played with, okay?
Okay, talk about that. I need to understand that. I don't believe you.
This Husker team is not in a place where they can take anybody. They can't take nobody lightly.
That's a fact.
So we made remember I said this, y'all. There may be some squeamish moments on Saturday, but I feel like we will pull it out.
Okay.
And the reason why things are squeamish because if you look at our offense, there's not a lot of continuity going on.
Mm-hmm.
It picked up a little later. Now, if a team come in with a little bit more firepower and putting some pressure on you, and that's what a team like La Tech usually does because they're playing with house money. Like these teams come in all loosey-goosey, like they don't care.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're like, you know what?
This is a feather in their cap.
We're gonna get your $800,000 and we trying to beat you and make you look bad, right?
Yeah.
So I just hope that the guys take care of business. They will be 2-2. Harrison, like I said, they'll be 2-2 after.
You called it.
After this.
So far.
Cap.
Haters gonna hate Harrison.
Boo.
Like Dion say, they gonna hate you,
Major cap.
When things are not going, when the predictions are going the way, the opposition said, you start getting these innuendos thrown at you and so anyway.
So since you say that, right, there's not a place within Memorial Stadium that anybody can relax for any given moment. They got to play the game full out, whole game. I mean, not a series, not a quarter, not 5 minutes. They need to play a complete game. I still believe that. Now, more so even not just a complete game because there's danger of talent lacking or something like complete game because you've got to continue to take steps to being able to change a losing culture mentality. And that requires execution, that requires attention to detail, that requires making plays. Like, it doesn't matter who's looking across from you. It's got to have a dominating mental frame of mind, no matter who you're playing against, right? It's not a play up or down to competition. You've got to play to win the game.
Can I add something?
Get it.
Something that Skip Bayless has made very popular is the clutch gene, right? Never really heard that a lot, but we all understand what it means. I think Nebraska over these last few years have not been blown out. Like they've been in games, but just haven't been clutch in situations. And I'm looking for them to start to do that a little bit more. They need to be able to, in that tight moment, like Shadur Sanders has done like for 3 games almost, 2 of their 3 games.
Yeah.
When they needed that 98-yard drive, they didn't turn the ball over.
Yeah.
They weren't jumping offside.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they guys weren't missing blocks.
Mm-hmm.
Running backs wasn't fumbling. Quarterback wasn't fumbling. Like you have to have an air about yourself to say, I'm going to get it done. And then everybody has to have that mentality.
So what, in essence, what Clester is saying to the listeners, those who are listening, is, again, if you want to tap in, 402-464-5685, you can also engage on the stream, whether it be by way of Twitch, X, Facebook, or Twitter. You can also engage us there because at the end of the segment, or not this segment, but at the end of the show, we're going to ask the last segment. We're going to ask you guys for any specific questions that you may have had during the discussion.
Yeah.
But what Clester, in essence, is saying, my brother, if I can, take that into account.
Yes.
You're saying that not only collectively you have to look, not only in the room individually, it has to become an accountability, a form of accountability where you personally say to yourself, I've got to do my job. If I do my job, I'm believing by faith that my partner next to me is going to do his job. If he does his job and we then collectively are each doing our specific jobs, whatever the assignment is, whatever the pool is, not running and blocking air, but assignment, whatever that assignment is, the route that I'm supposed to run, don't short the route. The speed that I'm supposed to run it, if I'm not getting the ball, it doesn't matter. The blocking, if I'm blocking on the backside, it doesn't matter because you might get a jump cut that comes your way, and then because you just kind of half-assed it, you know what I mean? Then all of a sudden, you come to a point where you miss the assignment that could have broke a big play. So you're saying individually and collectively, look internally, and then do your job, what you're supposed to do, and then that way things will get done. Is that what you're saying?
Harrison and E, I'm going to do it for the first time tonight. Facts!
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah.
If we were in church right now, I'd bring out a collection plate. I'd take a collection because what my man just put down was the truth. And it was the truth from a higher power. Because when I was looking at him, there was something in it. He couldn't stop.
Yeah.
I was saying, Lord,
Preach.
just let it come out of him. Okay, let me stop. Let me stop.
Young Dolph, preach.
I'm gonna stop. But yes, I cannot disagree with anything you just said there. I think that you're on point. I think that it's definitely an accountability thing. It's a concentration thing. It's I'm gonna do my part thing. And if they all are collectively doing that and holding each other accountable, right? You cannot be afraid to make somebody feel a little bit bad about not holding up their part.
That part.
Because that's how you build to
winning pedigree.
Winning.
Yeah,
absolutely. That's how you build to it.
It's
gotta be a little pressure.
It's no different. Like, I don't care what it is. It's no different if it's a horse in a horse race. It's no different with the jockey and the relationship. Like, the jockey is there to guide, direct the horse to maximize his potential to do what he's supposed to do, and that's to get around that.
Can I be blasphemous right now, y'all?
Yeah.
Yes, streaming only, so extra room.
Listen, I'm about to be totally blasphemous, and I'm sure Husker fans out there right now are going to be like, there's going to be a collective gasp when they hear this. But my senior year, I'm going to tell you what, Coach Ron Brown, I did not like him. Just going to let y'all know that right now. Do you know why I didn't like him?
Talk to me.
He made me feel like every day my job was on the line. Like every single day. I felt like, man, he wants to play somebody else over me. But you know what? If you are a competitor,
come on,
you're not going to allow him that pleasure
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're not going to give them the pleasure to remove me.
You. Yeah.
You know, I had Riley Washington. He won the indoor 60-meter in the Big 8.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I had John Vedral, who was a really pretty good player, knocking heads off, just really good, good at blocking and catching. You know, there was myself. I thought I did okay. You know, I thought I did all right. But you
led the team in freaking receptions.
I did. So, and I won the Cletus Fisher Award as the best Nebraska player on the team from Nebraska. I got the award because every game they give out a plaque for the best player at each position.
Okay.
I won that plaque like 9 or 10 times at my position every game. If I didn't win that plaque, I was mad.
Disappointed.
I was debating like, wait a minute, you mean somebody outscored me?
Show me.
Yeah, show me.
Yeah. Where did this happen?
Listen, every game I was walking up to the front of the room and they was presenting me with the plaque because, again, I felt that pressure.
You look within. And so that's the thing that I love about you guys, and I talk about this in spurts and in moments, is during your era, what you just said, that was just in the wingback room.
It's in the wingback room.
That's just that. But that was a collective thing. It meant it was the same thing with the linemen. The second team would come in and be like, wait a minute now, it's my turn to bash.
And running backs, Jesus.
That's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm getting to. The running backs, it didn't matter if it was Amon, if it was Clinton,
Damon,
it didn't matter.
Lawrence Phillips.
Every one of them ran with reckless abandon.
And if you got hurt,
that could set you back.
Yes, sir.
Because there's somebody there ready to step in and fill the void.
And they're going to.
And that's what I'm hoping this is the start of in the rule era, is we're starting to see that again come to play. Doesn't matter who it is, who comes in, they're prepared, they're ready, and the moment doesn't get bigger than the actual game itself. Right. Like they're not overwhelmed by the moment. And I'm hoping to see a little bit more of that. But we got to take a quick break. We'll come back and we'll get into the debate talking about two-way players. One of them, obviously, in Colorado. It doesn't happen very often, but we'll talk about some of the ones that were able to do it. We'll be right back. WTF, we talk facts.
Let's go, Harburg.
Agriculture is the economic engine of the Midwest. At Acres Equipment, we dedicate ourselves to making that engine run smoothly. We supply our farmers and ranchers with quality John Deere equipment, parts, and service. We also deliver the most advanced technology and precision ag strategies to help them farm today and for the future. Acres Equipment, solutions for every field.
Ladies and gentlemen, it has come to the attention of the Nebraska Lottery that when people hear a radio commercial in their car for one of our lotto games, Powerball, Mega Millions, or Lucky for Life, they tend to begin daydreaming about how they'll spend the prize money if they win, instead of paying attention to the road. So please, when I tell you that Nebraska Lottery Lotto games offer big money and big fun, keep your mind on driving. Do not start thinking about all the things you could buy if you win. Things like bright red sports cars, tropical vacations, 100-inch TVs, hot tubs, SUVs, a new computer, motorboats.
Bob, snap out of it.
Oh, good heavens. Ladies and gentlemen, my apologies. Perhaps I should go home now.
You better let me drive.
Lotto games from the Nebraska Lottery. Top prize odds vary by game.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now they've raised wages again and they're hiring for production operators at $24.11 per hour, which grows to $28.27 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $32.76 per hour with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or to apply, go to continental-jobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock, A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. Spring is here, summer is fast approaching. With weddings, vacations, and weekend getaways on your mind, do not let car issues prevent you from getting where you need to be. Car problems shouldn't be something that you put up with. Let us get you back on the road in comfort and safety. We diagnose all makes and models from Porsches to Hondas, Toyotas, and Chevrolets. We fix a variety of issues with all of them with our talented techs and our experienced staff. A1 Automotive at 11th and L, downtown Lincoln, always honest answers.
Steve's Garage Doors and Services is hiring. They are looking for a garage door installation and service technician with a clean driving record. Experience is not required as they will train for the positions. However, mechanical aptitude is required. If you want to come be a part of a small business where you're family, not just an employee, call Steve's Garage Doors and Services today to apply at 402-480-2840. That's 402-480-2840. Steve's Garage Doors and Services.
This Easter, focus on your family instead of dishes with the Venue Easter to-go meals. Prepared fresh in house by our chefs, these meals are ready to heat and eat with packages for 2 to 3 people or 6 to 8 and your choice of juicy beef tenderloin, tasty herb roasted chicken, or our famous 6-pepper crusted prime rib. All meal packages come with sides and we have additional add-ons available to complete your feast. Order today at venuedelivered.com/Easter. That's venuedelivered.com/Easter.
Spring sports are here and it's time to upgrade your equipment. But don't go rushing to your big box store. Play It Again Sports is your place to go for all spring sports equipment for baseball, softball, golf, and disc golf. Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And don't forget, buying from them is a great way to get new products with great discounts by also bringing in your used items for store credit or cash on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Back to We Talk Facts on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here are your hosts, Strick and Clester.
Yeah. Back on WTF. I'm out of my mode. The debate is on. I'm Bud Crawford and he is Errol Spence.
Oh.
And
wow.
This debate is already over. And there's no rematch clause.
Wow. Okay. All right. Cool.
So here's what's going on. What's going on right here is Deion Sanders out in Colorado happens to have one of the best two-way players. Not only was he the number one prospect in the class of 2022, the young man had a rating of .9999, which was only basically matched by four other players over the past decade. And that man is Travis Hunter. Experienced an injury last week, wasn't able to play. But let's go back and talk about some of the best of them. I mean, you had those, we all know about the ones, the big ones, the Deion Sanders. We know about, even Kyler Murray, being drafted, I think, in the top 5 in baseball and then also being number 1 in football. So, we know that they're out there. There are some that exist, but we're talking about two-way players and some of the best to do it. You definitely have to look at and mention Charles Woodson is one that comes to mind. You probably have to look at like Miles Jack at UCLA. But here's the thing. I think we saw it more prevalent in any time over the last 20 years, and it happened in 2015. When you had Robert Nkemdiche, who played running back in high school, but was one of the most dominant defensive lines out of Ole Miss. You had guys like that. You had Champ Bailey out in Georgia, who was a phenomenal athlete, played both receiver as well as DB. He had 47 receptions and a team best 744 yards with 5 TDs when he was doing it, had a 100-yard game in a big upset against number 6 LSU, but he was a lockdown defender, and he also won the Bronco Nagurski Award for the nation's top defensive player. So he was a phenomenal one. And then you go back, and you start dealing with some of the best to do it. And it's a lot of older school. And I think that's when it was more prevalent. We didn't have the same numbers. We didn't have, roster 65, 75 people back in those times. We didn't really have that. So then that's where you have guys like Chuck Bednarik out of Pennsylvania, who both
Chris
played
Gamble's name
center,
is on the list.
Linebacker. Yeah. Punter.
But let me give you one from the pros.
Break it down. Who?
I'm about to take y'all back here. William the Refrigerator Perry.
Oh yeah, for sure. For
y'all
sure.
remember that?
Yeah.
I remember the nickname.
Yeah.
That's obviously my age.
Listen, he was a devastating D tackle, and they also played him at fullback. Matter of fact, he scored a touchdown.
Yeah, Super
in
Bowl.
Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And Walter Payton did.
Oh yeah.
That was a huge point of contention for him because
he's one.
He was one.
He's one of one. Then also where the award comes from, Bronco Nagurski out of Minnesota. He was one of the ones that played both fullback and defensive tackle. That's where I think you see this happening most. A lot of it deals with your size and your skill and your ability. So therefore, this is why you see cornerbacks, receivers. This is why you see fullbacks, defensive linemen.
Or Dory Jackson. USC.
You see linebackers and maybe a tight end. So you definitely can see it happening. But let's talk about how it's kind of happened.
Let's debate
now, and we're seeing it out of Hunter. I don't know if we've seen somebody play the numbers that Hunter played, but I'm gonna say
he's a real two-way player.
I'm gonna say here's my start to the debate as to why I don't think it works.
Let's take it even deeper. What if it was your son? Travis Hunter is your son. What are you doing?
I mean, listen,
he got quiet. He got quiet.
I'm gonna say you listen, but I'm also gonna say at that level, that much expended energy. And here's where the spark of my debate comes in.
Okay.
I look at it from a standpoint of how much more difficult it is today as far as the systems, the in the different rooms, the complexities of all that's going on. And I think if you do it, it's in a limited capacity to where there's certain packages, there's certain certain play scriptings. So I don't see a 50-50, which Hunter's obviously doing, but I can see a 75-25. I could see an 80-20, a 90-10, 95 even 5. But I just don't see with everything, the complexities, how hard it is. And here's the final part before I let you tap in. You look at it from this standpoint that school, when we had school, it was homework. It was a lot of, research. It was a lot of reading. It was a lot of things that we had to do, even just at the high school level, which, made it, feasible, and the simplicities of the game was a little bit different. It was, the playbook was good. It was difficult.
I reject your deposit right now.
But I'm just saying now, I think it's a little bit more difficult. These kids, everything's at their touch of their
line. That was Tupac line.
Everybody's at the touch of the buttons. They can research, they can Google, and it's kind of can be a laziness.
Am I going to get a shot? I mean, are we going to go back and forth? Are we going to go back and forth?
It's going to be a laziness to it. So therefore, I say it's difficult, too difficult to be able to do it on a 50-50 level. And I think kids should be focused on being the best.
Number one, Travis Hunter is not doing 50-50. He's doing 100-100. He's 100% on that side. He's 100% on this side. So when he's studying, he's obviously has to break up his time between the two rooms.
How's he doing in school?
Obviously, he's doing quite well. But hold on. I didn't interrupt. I'm gonna use the example of Erick Strickland, and then I'm gonna take it on up to the next level. Right? When I played with one of the best athletes in Nebraska State history, I want to say he might be. He's probably top 10. He got to be rated top 10, top 20. I don't know. I got him at 1, right? I mean, I got him over Marlon Briscoe and everybody. Johnny Rogers, this man right here. When I watched him play on offense, I was like, man, makes me look better. I could just put it anywhere and he'd go catch it.
I tried to tell him that earlier. They didn't listen. Jay Foreman had to break him down and say, man,
but when he was on defense, he was a devastating hitter. Our defense wasn't the same when he was out there. So there are some exceptions to the rule, right?
Uh-huh.
And just like Deion Sanders right now is shaking up college football because he's doing things unconventional, you got to be able to recognize that you got something special. And he has something special in Travis Hunter, and he's allowing him to do it, okay? Imagine if somebody suppressed you, right?
You little sucker. Boy, you a sucker.
Imagine.
You lucky, WTF, I ain't cussing you out right
You
now.
know what? Imagine, right? Just imagine, E. Strick and Harrison. Imagine if somebody didn't decide to make brick buildings, right? Oh, it's never been done. We usually have wood buildings. What are you talking about, make a brick building, right? We used to have horse and buggies, but somebody go, you know what? We're gonna put an engine in there. What you talking about putting the engine in a horse and buggy? So it's the same thing with these two-way players. There's not everybody can do it. I don't condone everybody doing it. But every once in a while, you will get that guy and you go, you know what? He got that in. He got it. And he makes our team that much more better wherever we put him. And if he can handle it, let him do it. Now, I think we all know, based on what we saw, there is a chance for more injury.
Mm-hmm. That was going to be my thing. That's what you
absolutely. I'm aware of that, Harrison. Listen. I'm Eminem-ing you right now. Okay, I'm gonna Eminem you. I'm gonna put out the fire before you see the fire. Right? I know exactly what you're thinking about. But what I'm saying is this: you gotta listen. Like people were saying, Deion, why did you take the ball? Why did you take the ball in OT? Usually you have to give it. Like there's sometimes you have to be unconventional in your approach to things if you want to go to another level. And then it just comes down to belief in yourself, because some people just have unwavering belief in what they're doing. Other people just ain't gonna understand it. Like when E was doing his thing, like I'm sure there was tons of people like, man, how is he doing that? Why is he trying to do this? Does he think he could jump over that guy's head and he just jumped over that guy's head and dunked the ball? So
wrestling and all that stuff, that was crazy.
Listen, high jump, I think he still got the freshman record high jump. I think he jumped 6'8", 6'9" as a freshman.
I know Mike Melby called him Mr. Nebraska still. So we got some people around here though.
So all I'm saying is there are some exceptions to the rule, and sometimes you got to make an exception, baby.
Well, you know, as we talk, okay, there's not really.
Listen,
he killed me when he threw me in the mix. Right? You did. That was good. That was good. That was good sword play. You did. You know, you won that.
Thank you.
Now, what I will say is, where it becomes interesting is like when I came out to practice. I mean, Clester had already graduated, but I came out. I should have stayed with that team. Freaking won a national championship.
Yeah.
But anyway, the funny thing was this.
You had a shot.
This is what was funny about it, Harrison, is I came out to practice and I didn't have a playbook. I didn't sit in the receiver's room. They basically put me in the huddle with the ones, and the coach was like, run a 10 and out, run a slant, run a drag.
Just telling him what to do.
Go in motion and run a post corner. Literally, this is what they were doing, right?
That is hilarious.
Listen, they threw the ball that day in that practice more than they probably threw in the season. And I'm being funny. But that's how much they threw the ball. And it was a trick because I'm like, listen, there's no way y'all are throwing the ball to me like that. And so Tony Samuels, who was the linebacker coach, him and Ron Brown were fighting. Like they were having an argument, a literal argument about which side of the ball that I was going to be on. He wanted me in the linebacker room, and Coach Brown wanted me in the the wingback room.
Where'd you want to go out of curiosity?
I probably would have played defense.
And what he should have said was, Coach, I want to play on both sides. If you want me out here, give me a little bit of Give me a little bit of both.
A little taste of both.
Give me a package on offense and let me play some defense.
Yeah, and I know he wanted me in the kind of similar to Terrell Farley's position, that just that running linebacker, that
just a freak athlete
get to
out
the
there
ball.
that's covering ground.
Just get to the ball.
Right?
Get to the ball.
But I think I would have been a better like Toby Wright, Tony Veland, probably better safety.
But better.
Yeah.
That might be blasphemous to other people, but I've seen all the athletes, and one of the things I noticed about Eric was it didn't matter what he did. He was going to be pretty damn good at it. I mean, how do you go undefeated in wrestling and then just don't go off of wrestling, right?
What weight class?
It was a heavyweight.
Okay.
Yeah, because I mean,
it was heavyweight too. Okay.
Yeah, he was a big guy in 8th grade.
Yeah.
Grown men
grade.
and kids.
I was like 100 and probably coming into 9th grade. I was about 185, 90 pounds.
Yeah.
He was 6'3".
He was Mike Tyson and people. You know how Mike Tyson used to walk into the ring and people were like.
I was gonna say you probably had some wrestlers tap out before it started.
It was over. They were psychologically gone.
We're not doing that.
Yeah, I do like the prospect of it. I think you're right though, Clester. I think you can't hinder the talent when it's
some exceptions.
There's
right?
exceptions. There's some exceptions to the rule. I got to admit that. That's one thing I can't.
There's some exceptions. Like not everybody has the ability to do that, but we seeing when you put him in there, he is so silky smooth as a receiver.
Yeah, no doubt.
And he's a lockdown corner. And if he didn't get cheap shotted, I clearly feel like it was a cheap shot.
Oh, 100%.
It is part of the game. It is part of the game, but it was a cheap shot.
So let's throw it like this, right? So here's why I hear what you're saying. Because I'm watching baseball right now. There's two things that I saw. And I can't remember the young man's name, but he played for the Caribbean in the Little League World Series, and he was doing something that was blowing my mind. And then there's another young man in basketball. Gosh, I mean, this just came up, so I didn't have a chance to research it. But there's a young man right now. He's a freshman, and he's ambidextrous, right? Like you see him play, and he's literally playing the game with both hands. One time he'll come off the screen roll, he'll shoot left. The other time he'll come off a pick and roll to a mid-range with the right. Like literally he plays with both hands.
Like he can shoot, he's pulling up with both hands?
Literally the whole game with both hands.
If he's got the athleticism, that's a nightmare.
Listen, he played in a summer league against pros overseas and maybe sprinkle a couple of them and was killing as a freshman with both hands. I'm
gonna have to do research.
In the summer, yes, I can't remember his name, but look him up.
I'm sure ambidextrous basketball player. He's got to be the only one.
I look at him. Then there was this baseball player I told you about, the young man class. This is what you're talking about, this unicorn type of stuff, those exceptional situations.
Mm-hmm.
This young man in the college world and in college, he went to Mississippi State. He pitches both hands. He throws from the left side 92 miles per hour fastball and from the right side 97.
Hey, listen.
So he may come one inning and throw left and come another inning and throw right. It is crazy. So this is why Sohei Ohtani blows my mind, because he can also pitch and hit, which is a nightmare.
I don't think it's this camera. I'm going to look at this camera right here. I just want to let the people know that when it came to that debate, my debate points were so good that I had this man come on my team and start, giving him reasons why. That's when you know you want to debate, Harrison. You giving reasons why. Yes, there are some exceptions to the rules. So hey, if you're out there, you watching, please give us some questions in this next segment. We would love to answer your question. And we we appreciate everybody for listening. And hopefully we will continue to entertain you. Are you not entertained?
Numbers are good. We talk facts. One more segment. And
Okay.
We'll be up in a little bit.
All right.
Tailored Landscapes is actively preparing for spring. Things like getting new tree orders, getting equipment ready, and training staff to serve you the best we can. If you haven't already planned, now is the perfect time to figure out a maintenance plan for your yard. We're on the brink of spring cleanups for all of our existing customers and have limited spots left. We trim trees and shrubs when needed and only mulch proper amounts. Give us a call today at 402-432-2572 to set up a meeting with one of our designers and get ready for Tailored Life's grand opening in Bennett.
You know that feeling after a good, hearty meal? The worries of the world just slip away. Time slows down. Nothing but good times and good company. That's what you get with Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Mary Ellen's does food right, with a menu that includes smoked wings, pulled pork, brisket, catfish. And don't sleep on their sides, shrimp and grits, collard greens, baked beans. It's food that makes your heart happy. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul, just east of 27th and Pineland. Let them fix you a plate.
Hey there.
Hi, honey.
Uh-oh.
Remember we told Jamie and Mike about Liberty First Credit Union, how great their checking account and car loans are, the amazing service we get, and how we love being members?
Yeah.
Well, they took our advice. Jamie said how easy it was to move all their accounts and become members. Now they say they're banking with purpose at Liberty First Credit Union.
Learn more about being a member at libertyfirstcu.com. Liberty First Credit Union. Banking with purpose. Member NCUA.
There's a lot of realtors in Lincoln, but don't get overwhelmed by all the names. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realtor Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate is your go-to option when buying or selling residential and commercial property. Ben's team offers unbeatable customer service and promises to make the buying and selling process as stress-free as possible. Call Ben today at 402-419-6309 for all your real estate needs. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate. No pressure, just professionalism.
Problem gambling affects more than the gambler. It affects spouses, children, extended family members, and friends. If you are a loved one who's struggling with addiction, contact Choices Treatment Center's helpline at 402-476-2300. That's 476-2300.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful. I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman. Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
Yeah, it was great.
We're definitely coming back.
Sauter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. SauterHeyman.com.
Hi, it's Charlie Stone again, and with me on the line, Andy Goodyear, General Manager of Honda of Lincoln. Andy, I know how proud you and everyone at the dealership are to earn the prestigious Honda President's Award year after year, 17 times. Tell our listeners what it means to you and your customers.
Thanks, Charlie. Yeah, all of us are extremely proud to have earned this award, and I want all of our customers to know it's not just earned by one person's efforts. It's the entire dealership. Sales, parts, and our amazing service department.
17 times. Wow. How does that compare to other Honda dealers?
This award is only given to the most elite dealerships that demonstrate excellence. We really do strive to go above and beyond for the ultimate customer experience before and after the sale, Charlie.
That's why for 2022, Honda of Lincoln is once again Nebraska's #1 volume Honda dealer. Come experience the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business, 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Experience the Landmark difference with the next level of dealer support. Landmark, your local John Deere dealer, continually works to have parts on hand the first time you walk in the door. Our internal route system means we can get the parts to you typically same or next day to keep you up and running. At Landmark, we understand time is money. Get more uptime with our after-hours parts and service support on the phone or in the field. Our sales, precision ag, parts, and service teams are ready to serve you this planning season. Stop by your local Landmark today to experience the Landmark difference.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
to We Talk Facts on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here are your hosts, Strick and Clester.
All right. Let's see. I'm seeing something on the text line. I'm trying to see if it is during our time. This is the question of the day.
Okay.
We got one.
What?
And then we'll throw this one out. Question of the day comes from unnamed texter 1000. He says, "How come nobody said anything about Coach Rule being thirsty or what?" I don't know what that means.
Being thirsty. Oh, because did you guys notice he was during the game just licking his lips like constantly?
Cottonmouth?
Maybe that's my guess, which was a little funny because he didn't do that against Minnesota. But man, he needs some chapstick or something. I don't know what it was. I'm assuming that's what the 1000 is texting about.
Yeah.
Should we go with the other question?
Well, I would say I think just the nervousness and just, as you're riled up and the intensity, the anxiety, if you're not taking in a lot of liquids, that can tend to happen.
Yeah.
So, and that's kind of where I see that from. I mean, there's a lot of pressure. You're at home in your first home game, you're 0-2. You need performance.
Every coach has got their thing too. You
Yeah.
remember Bo Pelini just chomping the hell out of that nicotine gum. Every coach has got something.
Yeah. So that answers that. So question of the day for us internally is, who starts at quarterback this game?
Right.
Who finishes and what's the score? Because we got to get out of here in a few minutes.
Who do I want to start? There's a difference between who I want to start and who I think will start.
No, we're not going with that.
Well,
who's going to do it?
Listen. I'm going against the grain. I know everybody thinks that Jeff Sims is going to start. Heinrich Harburg led this team to a 35-11. Was that the final score? What was the final score?
10, right?
10?
Did they go for 2 there?
I think they went for 2.
They went for 2 and got it. So 11.
35 to an 11 score. I listen. You have to roll with that guy. You have to roll with that guy. He didn't turn the ball over. Like, I mean,
he had 1 turnover, but missed the block. So you can argue.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But to me, I he had some errant throws. But listen, I'm going with Harburg to start. They got a W with him as the starter. And for the most part, he took care of the ball. And he made some really good throws. He made some bad throws too. But you know what? That was his first start. His first start.
Score.
I'm going to say, oh, man, that defense is playing quite well. I'm going to go with Nebraska 24, La Tech 10.
Okay. I'm going to say Jeff Sims starts this game. And the reason is I believe that he needs a confidence boost. I think Rule needs and understands that in his mind, it is his guy. And if he thinks that they have any chance of winning, he needs him to perform well to not winning this game. I'm saying against Michigan. I think he feels that the Jeff Sims is going to give him the best chance. And so he has to give him that shot. I think Harburg finishes the game, but I'm going to say, I love how the defense is playing as well. I'm going to say 28-13.
Yeah, I'm kind of on the same camp. Sims starts. I'm assuming, I'm going to be optimistic and assuming he cleans up a lot of turnovers. Hopefully watching Harburg out there and just kind of watching how he's more, a little more, I don't even want to say conservative, just having more awareness of what's going on. But in terms of the score, I think Nebraska gets its first shutout. I think that defense, especially now you got the running backs getting hurt. I think that defense is leaning into the identity that we are going to be a big part of this team's success. We can't worry about the offense. We have to play well. So I think they get their first goose egg of the year. And we'll go 34 or 31-0. We'll put a 31-0. I think it's going to be a stomping, and the Nebraska defense is going to show out.
Well, gosh darn it, I can't wait till next week. Clester, final thoughts.
Go Big Red. That's my final thought. I 2-2 is what I predicted. So don't hate me. Don't hate the player. I hate the game.
Final thoughts. My boy Jay Stedman's going to be in town, so I will be down
Jay
here
Stedman
getting it in with the Lincoln crowd and watching this La Tech game. I'm excited to see Go Big Red.
Shout out to Jay Stead. Jay Stead, what up?
We got to get out of here. WTF, We Talk Facts, 93.7 The Ticket. We'll see y'all next week.